Yo, guys, we're talking about the infamous Project Bluebeam. The supposed fake alien invasion. Uh, the government's gonna fake an alien invasion using high militaristic technology and holograms to unite every fucking nation on the planet and form the one world government or the NWO, the New World. I don't want to complete the sentence because I don't want to finish that acronym because you'll get that detail under or get the cliff note under the video that shadow bans your content. So I don't want to shoot my chances in the leg itself. So let's just get into it.
Time. A fake alien invasion. We're planning the greatest deception of all time. A fake alien invasion, a false second coming, and a psychological operation so advanced you'd never even know it happened. This isn't science fiction. It's called Project Blue Beam, and in 2025, some believe it's already begun.
Most people aren't aware of the U.S. military versus like technology, like levels ahead, hologram technology, like things that actually released in the public are so far behind than things that actually they have. Like you'll be so odd. Like not just the AI, the level of sophistication technology they actually have that's not released to the public itself. You'll be in awe.
Theory first surfaced in 1994, when Canadian journalist Serge Monast published a shocking report. He claimed that NASA and the United Nations were developing a plan to create a global fake event, a staged extraterrestrial threat, to unite the world under a single authoritarian government. It would use satellites, holograms, and frequency-based mind control. Most dismissed him as a paranoid conspiracy theorist. Then, Monast mysteriously...
That's what they call every one of us. Like, you're paranoid, conspiracy head, tinfoil hat. Like, they call them these descriptions because when these things come true, it wouldn't be that much ludicrous to think about these kinds of things.
He died of a heart attack just 2 years later. His research vanished.
Oh, he died? What the fuck? So obvious, bro.
From mainstream outlets, but not from public memory. According to Monast, Project Bluebeam has 4 phases. Phase 1. Trigger massive earthquakes in strategic locations to uncover false archaeological evidence. This would rewrite religious history and discredit traditional belief systems. Phase 2. Use advanced
It's always an attack on religion. Like, everything they do is always an attack on religion.
Holographic projections to simulate a global religious awakening. Different regions would see different messiahs, Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad.
Yeah, they use this holographic projection of like Jesus at that time, to deceive humanity, thinking it's like the second coming.
Merging into one new world savior. Phase 3, use ELF, extremely low frequency waves to simulate telepathic communication, tricking people into believing they're receiving messages from their God. And Phase 4, a staged alien invasion to create panic, chaos, and demand for a new global authority. One government, one religion, one control system. Sounds...
At this point, ignorance can cost you. Like, you will be deceived if you're ignorant of the current times.
Unbelievable, right? But let's fast forward to today, 2025. Now we have holographic technology that can project 3D images into open air. In Dubai, drones have already created
Every time someone saw a UFO, or lights in the sky, it's not a UFO, it's advanced militaristic technology, like, things that they haven't released yet, and someone said they saw a UFO, it's not a UFO, there's no such thing as UFOs, it's always government military tech.
Massive sky projections for public shows. Japan's Sky Canvas project is launching satellites to paint images into the upper atmosphere. Even SpaceX and Starlink are launching thousands of satellites capable of coordinated activity across the globe. In recent years, the US government has publicly acknowledged UFOs, or what they now call UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. Congressional hearings have featured whistleblowers.
When the government comes forward and tell there's UFOs or UAPs, whatever they want to call it, then they know it's fake. Every time the government admits something, that's actually fake, They themselves come out and say there's UFO, never believe them.
Claiming the US has recovered non-human craft.
You think if there were actually aliens and UFOs, the government would disclose that information to the public? Fuck no.
Meanwhile, The military has been testing emergency alert systems and global communication drills through Space Force. In 2025, Operation Starfall began rolling out, a classified program said to use high-altitude drones and satellites to provide full-spectrum broadcast capabilities during a global emergency. All the infrastructure for a blue beam-like event is now in place. Here's where the conspiracy deepens. We're seeing more frequent reports of strange lights in the sky. Viral videos show unexplained phenomena above cities, many later dismissed as advertising drones or weather balloons. But who's really behind them? Why are multiple countries now racing to develop?
I just couldn't get out of the fact that the guy who came up with this theory, like died of a heart attack, like the year after. People just be dying of heart attacks all the time. I'm just saying some conspiratorial shit.
Sky-based holographic communication systems? And why is no one asking these questions? Skeptics argue there's no proof of blue beam. But that's the point. A successful psychological operation works because no one believes it until it's too late. Whether it's for global unification, religious manipulation, or the final step in mass surveillance, the pieces are all on the table. This isn't about predicting the future, it's about connecting the dots in the present. So the next time you see a glowing figure in the sky, or hear a message that seems to come from inside your mind, ask yourself, is this divine, or is it designed? Project Bluebeam may sound like a sci-fi thriller, but
Bro, that's why, every time any Christian apologetic would say, always relate to scripture. Like, even if you're getting a voice in your head, if it aligns with scripture, then it's true. If it's not, it's probably not God or anything divine. It's the government trying to fucking access your fucking brain.
in a world of deep fakes, neural implants, AI manipulation, and global misinformation, how can you be sure what's
Bro, imagine the level of AI the United States military actually possesses right now, compared to what is released in the public. If the public version is that good, imagine what they actually have.
real anymore? This is Uncharted Secrets, where we
Let's watch this video.
They want us to believe in UFOs. They're preparing us for a fake alien invasion.
W. Eddie Bravo, like W. Mans, anybody who know Eddie Bravo, this guy's the goat.
That's always been the plan. A one world government. The only way to do it is to get us to embrace it. And the only way to embrace it is from an alien attack. Ronald Reagan talked about it many times. He looked at all the leaders of the nation, of the world, and said, wouldn't it make our lives easier if we just had some kind of extraterrestrial threat?
President Ronald Reagan in 1987 said something that towed the line between deeply prophetic and deeply weird. And he said it at the United Nations.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Ronald Reagan wishing an alien invasion on Earth because of the kumbaya effect it would have on relations among nations. One of the truly weirdest things he ever said in public.
Yo, I've never seen nothing like that. Yo, I thought I was bugging. When I was standing over there, I'm like, what is that?
It's always aliens in the United States. I'm living in India. Why don't these UFOs come to my country? Like, we don't see anything. Like, you guys get all the good stuff, bro.
Why is the sky purple?
You guys get random lights in the sky. Like, you guys get all the good stuff.
And it's only there. Look, this one's not that clear.
Have an idea what's going on in NYC right now.
Turning others to social media for answers.
It's like an alien attack.
It looked like a UFO coming from the sky. It was scary.
There's a thing out there, and you've read it in Life magazine. You've seen the front cover of the NASA SETI program. They talked about a $100 million investment, $100 million to invest to find out whether there is extraterrestrial intelligence. Well, they got something going here. You remember War of the Worlds?
The radio broadcast?
Yes, by Orson Welles in 1939?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, we've got something else coming in. They're going to make the announcement that they have discovered extraterrestrial intelligence. And this will frighten...
And they always put it in movies, like, to make us aware, War of the Worlds. Avatar, all this predictive programming to get us, you know, in line with an idea of aliens and shit.
The people of the world say, oh my God, how can we deal with this as a nation? But we can only deal with it, you know, as the United Nations. Yes, we're going to have a United Nations, a one world government. Yeah, it's necessary, they're going to say. It's absolutely necessary. Why?
Tell me.
To defend ourselves from those little green men, from the aliens that are out there. They will make that announcement. And the whole program is phony. It's fixed. It's set up. And you're going to be the patsy unless you understand what's going down and who's doing what to whom.
Did you know that the government had a program to create fake, disappearing UFOs over 50 years ago? And the only orbs faker than that are right here. In my video about Chan Thomas and the atom...
Bro, boomer comedy doesn't hit, bro. Like, he could have went above that saying, you know, stupid boomer comedy, bro. It's not even hitting, bro.
News story, I showed you that he worked for Douglas Aircraft in a special department called the Advanced Concepts Division, which was their version of the X-Files. Bob Wood, who ran this division, had an article in the October 2008 MUFON Journal talking about some of their secret projects. In the article, Wood goes over the various activities that were undertaken by the group. But at the end of the article, he states something very curious, that the only interest they ever had from the government was in 1970, when there was, quote, interest expressed by one of the intelligence agencies. This resulted in a draft proposal to mimic, imitate, or duplicate the observables associated with UFOs. He continues that they called the project Project Skylight and prepared a good deal of technical information in anticipation of contract work, though he states that it never materialized within McDonnell Douglas to his knowledge. But that's not entirely true. Documents from Project Skylight have been found, and we do know what they are trying to accomplish in simulating UFOs. So let's take a look. In this original document, we see that they were trying to simulate UFO observables with the illusion of physical objects in three-dimensional space. They wanted them to be sensed by visual, acoustical, photographic, radio, and other...
It's gonna cost this kind of global deception. Do you know how much kind of this technology would actually benefit us? You know, if all the governments were actually telling the truth, like, and there's complete transparency, like a lot of medical issues will be solved, a lot of, you know, global crisis will be solved, the health crisis, food crisis, if the governments of the world weren't such assholes.
Electromagnetic instrumentation. Be large, very light, transparent bags inflatable with ionizable combustible gases, spherical or saucer-shaped, and that these bags should be constructed of highly combustible materials so they can completely vaporize or disintegrate when they want them to. They wanted these fake craft to emit lights and sounds, but also the odor of something otherworldly, as well as the magnetic effects that we see with things like cars turning off, etc. This should strike you as quite odd, and we need to look very rationally at what was being asked for here. These were not craft that were designed to move fast to travel into enemy territory and do surveillance. There was no instrumentation on these craft to do that. They were just balloons that were meant to look a certain way, to be put into the sky, to give off light, sound to disorient somebody, an otherworldly stench, solely to screw with the observer and make...
I don't think even they're balloons. Like, I think they have like legit anti-gravity technology. It's not anti-gravity because... Now I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get like banned on YouTube and shit. Like, there's a lot of evidence of something iffy about gravity. Like, they have like floating technology, which basically manipulating the electromagnetic field of things. They have that kind of technology. Like, and I don't even believe that the balloons. They have much higher advanced floating technology. They're not releasing to the public.
Them think they were witnessing an alien craft. And then after the psychological screw job on the witness is complete, it was designed to just poof, disappear, to burn itself up with flammable gas and combustible materials. The supposed alien craft just blinking out of existence happens all the time in UFO and abduction lore. It's become ubiquitous. So ask yourself, why would intelligence agencies who have so many means, satellites and planes and all kinds of ways to surveil enemies and mess with them and go to war with an enemy, why would they require something whose sole purpose is to screw with you, is to make people think that aliens actually exist? What kind of operation could possibly require that? Now, that's not the end of the story. After these documents, it all goes quiet for about 20 years. And then Project Skylight shows up once again. And this time, it's even more concerning. In 1987, we see the project name Skylight pop up once again, this time in a master's thesis from the Naval Postgraduate School. And this thesis appears to be outlining a new experimental satellite configuration for use with the extant Project Skylight. It's attempting to find compensating techniques designed to reduce laser wavefront distortion caused by the atmosphere. The satellite will measure and downlink the propagated beam irradiance of the mid-IR advanced chemical laser, Miracle, based at White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico. Now, maybe it's nothing, but I find it a little iffy that here we have the same project name as the project to fake UFOs, and they're talking about a new type of satellite to bounce a laser off the atmosphere, and it's only an IR laser, which some UFOs can only be seen in the infrared spectrum. Now, maybe there's something to that. Maybe we should look at it. I don't know. I'm just a guy on the internet. So there you have it.
Aren't we all? We're all just guys on the internet.
A lot of people have brought up Project Bluebeam in my comments, and that's been floating around the conspiracy community for over 20 years. It originally came from a guy named Serge Monast, who died shortly after he brought that information out. He was a French-Canadian investigative journalist, supposedly. Now, I've never been able to verify his original source for that information, so I can't tell you how true it is, but we do have proof that the idea to use fake UFOs for psychological operations has been in play for over 50 years, and here's proof of it. And we also have proof of the existence of a space-based, satellite-based laser program that has the same name. So I'll ask you this. If these technologies have existed for over 50 years and such thought has been put into faking these experiences, how can we believe anything that's coming out right now?
Project Bluebeam. Can you describe what that is?
It's the ability to stage, through very advanced technologies, an alien attack or an alien event. And it's a whole series of them. Now, what most people don't know about since late 50s, early 60s, like the Barney Hill case and all that, those were all human assets abducting innocent people made to look alien. And so that psychological warfare was authorized in 1953, 54. 1954, we mastered gravity control. So we started deploying these assets to begin to condition the public that there's a scary threat from outer space. I mean, look at Hollywood, Alien, Ridley Scott's movies. If you want to see a script for what's coming fairly soon, look at the movie Independence Day. Okay. It's right out of central.
Isn't there like a Simpsons prediction for aliens and shit? Like
casting for this covert group. So what their whole purpose is to create sort of a global militarized totalitarian superstate of the world fighting another world. It's like War of the Worlds. Okay. And that's been a 70-year defense plan. And I know
a new world order, just like the Bible tells
people who've seen that plan.
We're kind of preparing the U.S. population, at least, and by extension, the world population, into that reality that there is a presence here, and that we need to explain this presence. Because if they show up and we continue to do what we did before in previous decades, and they show up, there will be mass panic. But if you understand that these are real, and we have 5 years from 2022, or maybe now 4 years, if they come in 2027, for the U.S. government to prepare the people about what is up there. And in many ways, I think the word got out within the government that they're showing up in 2027, and we better be prepared, and if not, there's going to be a lot of explaining to do. And so I think that dialogue has happened within, inside the government, in certain areas inside the government, that we need to prepare, and that's why in 2017, that set a clock of 10 years. And why Lou Elizondo earlier in this year said, just find a hobby for 5 years, and it'll all be out in 5 years. And he said that this year, so that was 2027. Huh. And I would say I've heard 2027 in a kind of an official capacity I can't reveal. So I think I would say that people in the government are aware of something happening, and that there's limited time, a few more years to prepare the people.
Limited time, isn't it? Well, it's like a sales target.
And that's what's ramping up this acceleration from the previous 7 decades of not even acknowledging it to now we are acknowledging it.
I believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials.
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
Okay, I can't ask when you think this occurred. If you believe we have...
Oh, they want to be so vague and shit, like aliens and shit, bro. Shut the fuck up, bro. Like, that is fake, bro.
Crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently...
Ooh, like... They're trying to be so vague and give like details, like some kind of like... They have some kind of hidden information it's not released to the public. Shut the fuck up.
He admitted that this was a distraction for humanity.
Yeah, good one.
What is that?
That's
lasers, right?
Yeah, I can actually talk about that one, but that is this is really bad. But you know the people that see orbs in the sky, go around and fly faster.
UFOs.
UFOs.
Yeah, there's Navy pilots. There's multiple Navy pilots who talk about they got their they were flying F-18s. These Navy pilots, and one of them's coming in here in 2 weeks. He's Ryan Graves.
Okay.
He's a Navy pilot flying off the coast of North Carolina, and they got their radar upgraded on their F-18s, and all of a sudden they were seeing these things darting around on their radar.
Okay. Don't tell him what I'm about to say, and see if he knows about it.
Okay.
So what we do is we play with our own forces to make sure our trickery will work on the enemy. And those are directed energy weapons of where we do intersecting beams or focus beams into the atmosphere. And notice they're always in the atmosphere to excite the electron orbitals of the oxygen and nitrogen in our atmosphere. And it causes a glow and it causes ionization. That ionization shows up on radar and it's like a cat laser pointer, and we're making planes chase them.
That's exactly how they describe it.
That makes sense, bro. We all know they have like direct energy weapons. Like they have like not just guns and shit, like energy weapons. You know, like the ones you see in like One Piece. Have you seen that? You know, guys, have you seen One Piece anime? Like they show like a giant laser. You know, the emu like that. The villain shoots like a giant laser. They have the kind of that hidden, like direct energy weapons. They have that kind of technology. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, they have like death rays and shit. Like, search Tesla's death ray. They have these kinds of technology. Like, they can shoot rays and like penetrate your flesh itself. Like, laser beams, laser guns in Star Wars, these are not just like ideas. These are not just fiction. They have this kind of technology. Bro, that makes sense that using that energy weapons cause, you know, lasers in the sky treating us like cattle or cat. Fucking weird. Robert Duncan, DARPA, the CIA, bro, this dude's in every fucking... What the fuck?
These things moving like laser pointers.
Yeah, and so we can do it in 3 space. We can make it look like
in 3-dimensional space.
Yeah, and we can make it look like an entire fleet is about to drop bombs on, let's say, Europe, and then just have them disappear. And they get all their planes up in the air, and we attack them from the other direction, assuming we're attacking.
Who is doing this? The Navy, you said?
Somebody. Let's just say a group. A group. You know.
Let's just say a group for YouTube's sake.
And you know this for a fact.
I know for a fact. Yeah. So anyway, don't tell your guests.
A group within the U.S. government.
Yeah. Okay. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. What? Don't tell. Like, is this dude on a podcast?
And is this something that could be seen with the naked eye? Or
Yes,
is this something
because it glows.
Oh, don't tell everybody, but I'm on a podcast.
It glows, so it'd be seeable. You can see it by the naked eye, and it would leave a radar trace. So it's perfect as a deception, and it involves the voice of God weapons that I was talking about.
Project Bluebeam.
And this got leaked, so it probably won't have the effect, and they probably won't do it. But if you wanted to bring the world together, as President Reagan said in several UN speeches, you would have a common enemy, like evil aliens attacking. We forget our differences and we fight against it.
We wouldn't look at each other as Chinese or Russian or American. We look at each other as Earthlings.
It's for humans, as Earthlings, and so that was Project Bluebeam, was to
that 100% that's their plan.
The human race into believing either God is coming down, everybody hears the voice of God, the microwave hearing effect, get along, give whatever the new message is, or
there has to be some kind of technology that that propagates some kind of voice to every nation. Like they had that kind. 100% believe they had some kind of technology for that too.
It was going to be the evil aliens attacking. And notice how they all of a sudden all the governments release all their information on UFOs, and there's a whole division dedicated, and that's just deception.
You think it's all deception?
I think it's all deception.
Really?
Yeah, but that's my opinion. I've looked at all the videotapes and that people have given me, and I can explain away each one of them.
So apparently, but there's apparently lots of footage and videos and photos that have not been released to the public.
Yeah, I haven't seen those, so I can't.
And if you think this is all some sort of psyop, what do you think the ultimate purpose of it is?
Distraction against a lot of this human experimentation we're doing.
Nope, this is not lightning, and thousands of people ran screaming, calling it a sign that we were never supposed to see. Many citizens in New Mexico were scared after seeing their sky had suddenly flashed blue lights without a storm that was...
Bro, what even is this, bro? Like, I have nothing against men wearing, like, earrings, but, bro, like, this is not it.
Followed by unearthly, loud, angry sounds. Then another clip just came out in the same area where citizens heard loud, terrifying sounds alongside a very thick cloud.
Yo, I told you, bro, they have this kind of technology that they can like send sounds come from the sky itself and can propagate the sounds like everywhere. I'm telling you, they have more and more advanced technology, bro. Like,
news reported the sound as ominous, and others claimed that this is one of the 7 trumpets of the apocalypse. However, all of this is just a conspiracy, and a lot of the blue beam theories could be a result of drone technology or government aircrafts being tested, as this is near Area 51. NASA explains the
I 100% believe that dumbass Christians will be deceived.
Trumpet sound heard in Mexico as a result of Earth's natural radio emissions, which are always...
You see every one of Christians, like, it's a rapture on every September, like, on every fucking Tuesday or Friday, they're saying it's a rapture, like, the idiots will always be deceived, no matter what. That's why you cannot be ignorant in this generation. Like, you have to know your shit, bro. You cannot be ignorant, and you will pay the price for ignorance.
We just usually don't notice.
Hey, kill it, kill the illusion, kill it. No, I'm not gonna kill it, they'll see. They'll see what I want them to see! You still need the tape. Yes, Shannon. I still need the tape. Done. Now, William, render my illusion suit. I created Mysterio to give the world... I control the truth!
Bro, fuck Spider-Man.
Oh, mommy. Oh, mommy. Oh, mommy.
It's like someone knocking on the door, bro. What the fuck?
Speaking about what many people refer to as Operation Bluebeam.
There's an operation called the Phoenix Light Project. Tens of thousands of people were witness to a craft about a mile long, a mile in the sky. People saw it. This is a hologram. You're looking at a hologram. It's so real, you feel you can reach out and touch it. Over 10,000 witnesses saw that. They believe they saw an aircraft. The ETs are coming. Now imagine tomorrow, you're going to see thousands of aircraft. Not as big, smaller, but aircrafts coming in, flying all over the United States, Europe, whatever it is, and then you're going to be attacked. But those attacks will happen with real missiles, or real planes, you understand? They're going to say my government is right, they want to protect me. You declare an emergency. You declare one world government. Nobody will resist. People will say thank you. And that's how you take over.
Wow.
They have the technology. They can do this tomorrow morning. The information that you are being fed that bad ETs are coming to get you, nonsense. All BS. Doesn't exist.
In the year 2024, the world will stand witness to a massive alien invasion. Thousands of projected holographic alien warships will blanket the skies, sending people into a panic. Real military crafts within the holograms.
They have anti-gravity alien invasion, like aliens, carriers, and spacecraft. They have this shit, bro.
Inflict actual damage to the surrounding areas to sell the gimmick. And as a result of the ensuing human chaos, a one-world government will immediately form without any resistance from the people. They will be the new world order. Once this happens, we as a people will be doomed to enslavement and accelerated depopulation. With that said, the only hope for human salvation is to acquire and spread the knowledge of these activities and agendas. Resist, retaliate, then conquer this revolting enemy. The time is now.
The time is now. The time is now.
He won't release this because I think he's been threatened, but it's a CIA document from 1985 where it describes the CIA conducting alien abductions in Brazil and Argentina on poor people in remote areas using man-made UFOs that are these anti-grav devices and specialized things that look like an alien, but it's actually robotic, very advanced.
Bro, this guy looks like an alien. Is this dude even real?
Sort of device. To advance this agenda of fear. And it actually says in the document the exact words from 1953 for psychological warfare value.
These satellites will use lasers to project images down to Earth. These images will be designed to seduce people into believing in a new god. Holograms and augmented reality is getting better and better every year.
This video surfaced out of China, and it looks like their city is floating in the clouds. Of course, we can't verify if the video is real or not, but we have seen things like this before.
Technology to make that kind of hologram convincing enough just doesn't exist. Now, for a few years, there have been videos floating around the internet showing very realistic holograms as a way to support the existence of Project Bluebeam. None of these are real. These are nothing more than CGI and augmented reality. Now, AR allows users to see 3D objects in the physical world, but only through a device like a smartphone or a television. So when you see videos like this, we see the animals in the shot through the camera. The people in the shot don't see them. But those aren't holograms. A hologram is an object that can be seen floating in space by an observer without a camera. But holograms need a substrate or a medium, meaning the light has to be projected into something. Usually this is done using layered glass or plastic.
But that doesn't stop Harvard University. Its scientists are testing that technology by spewing calcium carbonate dust into the atmosphere.
Bill Gates is backing the first high-altitude experiment of one
the beacon of truth himself, Bill Gates.
Radical climate change solution, creating a massive chemical cloud that could cool the Earth. It's called solar geoengineering, and it's highly controversial. It would look something like this. Thousands of planes would fly very high and use nozzles to inject millions of tons of light-reflecting particles into the stratosphere. It would create a thin chemical cloud of those particles around the whole planet, blocking some sunlight from reaching the surface. It would mimic a giant volcanic eruption, which we know cools the Earth.
This is what needs to be done.
Anything that comes out of Bill Gates' mouth, that's deception. Like, it's not for humanity. Bill Gates is not for humanity.
In order to actuate this false
He's for destruction of humanity.
flag operation that will involve the abduction of citizens so as to foster an illusion that this Earth is facing an extraterrestrial invasion. Use of experimental drugs, holographic projection capabilities, directed energy technologies, I'll get into that in a moment, induced auditory input, experimental aircraft, well, that's just a euphemism for man-made UFOs, and special effects costuming and stagecraft.
Coming into view. A world in which there is the very real prospect of a new world order. We have before us the opportunity to forge, for ourselves and for future generations, a new world order.
This morning questions after more unidentified objects are discovered over U.S. and Canadian airspace.
Dramatic new details about the unidentified object shot down by fighter jets.
They didn't have propulsion. They weren't being maneuvered. It was basically they were being driven by the wind.
Unidentified object shot down by U.S. fighter jets over the weekend. 3 objects over 3 days.
Can't work out exactly how they fly, and they won't rule out the fact that they might even be extraterrestrial.
For the third time in as many days, the U.S. had spotted and shot down an unidentified object.
What is going on here with what seem like a deluge of potential incursions? What are these objects? Where are they coming from? What is their purpose?
Project uses electronically augmented two-way communication, where ELF, VLF, and LF waves will reach each person from within his or her own mind, convincing each of them that their own God is speaking to them from the very depths of their own soul. Such rays from satellites are fed from the memories of computers that have stored massive data about every human on Earth and their languages. The rays will then interlace with their natural thinking to form what we call diffuse artificial thought. That kind of technology goes into the 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s research where the human brain has been compared to a computer. Information is fed in, processed, integrated, and then a response is formulated and acted upon.
Oh, I also think that, maybe the Zaytoon apparition, like maybe they're using some kind of hologram for that. Like, I don't know, bro. Like Zaytoon apparition was like a testing ground for these holograms. Maybe it's real. Like, I'm not doubting it, but sounds iffy to me. Anybody who believes Jesus is coming like this, bro, shut the fuck up. We know how he'll come, like it's in the Revelation, bro.
Now look at this. Now look at this.
Am I gonna get the copyright? Like, what's with this fucking...
Collectingness.
Okay, this is gonna sound crazy, but I don't need people. More employed. The government's gonna create a fake alien invasion. I know that sounds crazy, but what's it's gonna do? It's gonna create a united front with the world. And we have technology already from decades ago that they're going to implement in our society. That's what the Space Force...
Yeah, one thing they don't know, the technology is from decades ago. I'm not just talking about like pre-flood. I'm just talking about 400 years ago, You might want to look into the old world conspiracy. You'll find out that they have like advanced technology from the old world, and they're now slowly introducing this technology to the public and claiming some kind of innovation. Like, they have these technologies beforehand, and then they're releasing to the public.
...was created for, to use this new technology and pretend like it's brand new, but we've had it for decades. But we can't tell people that because the technology we have is gravitational manipulation.
Yeah, gravitational manipulation. If they tell you, then the current history is fake. The whole historical narrative is fake. And that's why you're not telling them.
Free energy, which will make gasoline, oil, electricity, all...
Free energy, like, every fight for energy and resources, it's all fake. That's for some other ulterior motive. They have free energy technology.
Absolutely, but our human race isn't ready to adapt that yet. And it will drive the human race insane trying to adapt it. So what is one way to make them force this adaptation?
Charlie warned us all.
I mean, just think about it, okay? First, the stock market would go. Then, the economy, boom! The dollar, boom! And then pandemonium in the streets. War, genocide, boom, boom, boom!
Bullshit. Nobody could keep that big a secret, Charlie. Somebody blow the whistle.
And every once in a while, some poor little sucker tries. Not like these guys. Boom! Boom! Every one of these guys, dead, dead, dead!
That's what, like, you know, the normie excuse, like, then everybody will be in on it. Like, how could everybody be in on it, bro? Like, some business, isn't there gonna be some dude that actually leaking this information? Yeah, they all end up dead.
That's Professor Myers.
He ran the Atlantis shuttle program. Why, did you know him?
Yeah, he helped me out with research on my book.
Oh, well, that must have been before his accident.
Why was he dead?
Oh, yeah, 2 months ago. He was one of my most avid listeners, and he had it all figured out. Everything the government was doing, where and why. He even sent me a map.
A map for what, Charlie? What's the map for?
They're building spaceships, man.
Pretty soon it's going to light up right in the center. I think they use plasma, but you tell me, if 10 of these things showed up over New York City, they wouldn't think they were being
experiential levitation technology
attacked by aliens. But right here, you'll see when it gets closer, it has 2 fins on the top. The newer ones have no fins, they're just flat. If it's a triangle, it's from Earth, friends, and also circular ones. See, it'll turn, you see those 2 flaps?
Aliens and UFOs are what first got me started in the movement and being open to different things. Looking deeper into it, it's not about whether aliens exist or not, it's whether or not the government
They definitely don't exist.
has the technology to create this fake alien invasion. And that's 100% yes, yes, yes they do, and yes they will. Because as they see people waking up, militias forming, and other things happening around the world, with people realizing what's happening with the pedophilia and human trafficking, they must do something to stop us from rising up and stopping them, and this is what they're going to do. It's not whether the videos that you just saw contain fake imagery or CGI videos. That's not the question. The question is, what do they have for technology, exactly, and why are they coming out now, out of all times when there's a second pandemic rearing up, telling us about aliens? Finally.
Oh yeah, I don't want to get banned. Okay, that's about it. So, there's some fucking aliens and shit. There's only like demons and, you know, interdimensional beings. Aliens are bullshit, bro. So that's about it. Like and sub.